So tell us a little bit about the studio experience so far.
Oh, studio experience with Atlanta Vita is always fun. It's always been, so we started off, we used to do stuff with Jimmy Fulp. He produced and engineered our first EP. We're pretty self-produced, but he was there and he would put in these little things like, oh yeah, well, like we wouldn't have ever thought to just like drop here and just build on this one chord. Like, yeah, it just makes sense. I love Jimmy Fulp so much. Jimmy, shout out.
Yeah, we like him too.
He's awesome. And great drummer, but he's like, as far as studio, like, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does there. And so love Jimmy. And so we did the first EP with him. And then as we've kind of branched off a little bit, we're just trying to experiment with sounds. So we've been doing stuff at U of M and all sorts of things like that. But as far as like studio takes with Jimmy, it was more individual tracking. So it would be like, we would do drums. We would do like all 3 songs drums. And then we would move on to bass for all 3. And then guitars, which inevitably takes the longest because we're super picky about everything, about tones.
All that's typical.
Yeah. And then with vocals, like the amount of harmonies that are in some of the songs, it would take forever.
Yeah.
Because we would get back the rough mixes and we were like, like, I don't really know that I need to sound that bad forever, on Spotify or whatever, so.
This lives forever.
It does.
It does. That's the one thing about studio that is way different from live. Because live, it's like, okay,
right.
It happened.
Yeah,
well, and look, times have changed now to where some of that can live forever too.
Exactly. You can be immortalized on Facebook, dropping a drumstick in the middle of the song.
You always feel bad for a singer that's having a bad night.
Because it happens.
And then that becomes the viral video.
Oh, dude.
Yep.
It's rough. It sucks.
It's horrible. I feel bad for like, especially some of the like higher up guys. Like you look at like, Bon Jovi had that rough night recently.
That was a rough one too.
That was rough.
I'm like sitting there. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be the thing that lives on forever.
Scott Weiland.
Yeah.
Weiland had some rough ones.
Yeah.
Vince Neil had some rough ones.
Axl Rose.
I mean, he's been having rough ones since the 80s.
Just like, it's crazy.